Hey, get ready. Get ready.
ADE SALTO. En we zijn hier ook met een mooi publiek. Laat je even horen. We're sitting here with Darude. Welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. Is this working? I've used the microphone, I swear.
We just heard your tune, Sandstorm, but you're also working on some new projects. Can you tell something about that?
I got to plug the album that was released a year ago. New music, but then right now, I can't tell too much about it, but next
Maybe
year
a little sneak.
25th anniversary of everything. So we're coming up with some new mixes, potentially new music as well, but then also I'm going to do some sort of a tour around it.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
And Gregor?
Yeah. Well, I'm very eager to hear your new stuff and the remixes coming out of this classic. But I would like to know, like, how was your life before you made your world hit?
Oh, okay. Well, my life did turn around about 180 degrees in just a couple of weeks. In '99, when my then producer J16 found me, and we started working together. And a couple of weeks later, we had Sandstorm, as you know it, released. So I became from this part-time student, and I worked at a Apple authorized place repairing computers before that, and studied telecommunication. And I did not even know that I would be a performer, really. I wasn't a DJ, I just loved music, and I tinkered in my little home studio.
Was it a hard switch?
Sorry?
Was it a hard switch to turn your life around?
I mean, looking back, it was a crazy weird switch. but I always say, to answer your question, it wasn't hard because I didn't realize what was going on. I just took it and ran with it, and my skill, as at least as much that is in being a musician and a producer, is knowing when to grab a hold of something and run with it.
Yeah, you were just living in the moment, enjoying
Yes.
it. Nice.
Yeah.
Did you expect it to become a hit like this?
I was sort of thinking in '99 when I was working on it that in 2024 I'm going to be at ADE with Chuckie and a couple of other fellas, and no, I had no idea. It was.
You wish.
Yeah, exactly. It was. I literally didn't think of myself as a musician, and I was just tinkering, and my level as a hobbyist was here, and the professionals were there, and that was a gap that I didn't even dream of catching. And then I got together with my producer J16 then, and he showed me the ropes, and he pushed me first to like a professional sound level, and taught me about DJ mixes, not just radio edits and whatnot. And so it just happened really quickly.
What's the best DJ lesson you've learned?
Best DJ lesson learned.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna back me up on this one. If you mess up, don't show it.
Just go on.
Just nod. And if, for instance, if you CDJs are easy because if you just pause a track, for instance, ding 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 ding, you're counting as a DJ. Just hit play again on the next 4 or 8, and then after next 4 or 8, do it again on purpose. Then people thought that you didn't actually mess up. Yeah. Just keep your poker face.
Tell us a little bit about the period right after okay, we have a global hit. What happened?
Well, I have these things where I was waiting for the initial release in UK for like 6 months. Neo Records was just holding and building, and I thought that it's never going to come out. So then it did come out June 2000, and I went to Ibiza the first time in July 2000, and I played between Armand van Helden and Underworld, and I was just blowing my own mind like every second of those days. I went to Amnesia. Paul van Dyk, my hero then, still is, was playing played Sandstorm. I was in a VIP. I ran down. Just when it took off, they had the cryo. I was insane. Yeah.
That's crazy. So you started touring a lot, right?
Yeah.
Right after. What's the longest period you ever left your house for? Like,
Oh, that's I think longest period like that was I did a 7-week American tour in 2002. That might have been the longest consecutive time.
Did you go to the full US?
I don't know how many states, but there was 49 days. So it was 7 weeks, and I think we did over 30 gigs in that time frame. So half of it was by plane and half of it was bus. So just crashed in a bus and woke up for the next sound check.
And just wondering, like every career goes in phases and in waves. Because you went to the top overnight.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
after that, some moment came where you just went down, which is what happens in every artist's
Yes.
career. How did that feel to you, and could you cope with that?
I'm not saying this to big myself up, but I didn't go down like so that I didn't get gigs. But yes, like my Sandstorm peak was high, and then I came down, but luckily like not all the way down, and it stabilized somewhere in the middle, and I was okay. So basically, even if I say myself, all these now soon 25 years, I've been able to get booked 50 to 80 gigs a year, as much as I kind of want to do. And so in that way, it didn't drop. But at the same time, releasing a second album, not getting a hit record, releasing a third album, not getting a hit record, releasing a fourth album, not having a hit record, like that, even close. So
It's going to be hard to top that one.
That's right, but I haven't even, like, in a chart position-wise, haven't been close to that. But I'm also so used to that now that, for instance, I released the album last year. I wasn't expecting anything. I was just absolutely happy about the tracks. Pandemic was tough, but I got to create my album exactly how I wanted to. Like, once you get used to the idea of not having the outlet, but then it's a studio, and now I measure success in a different way. And that's because I
how do you
haven't
measure
reached
it
the
now?
same kind, but also because I've grown older and more confident, and the numbers don't necessarily matter as much.
Before releasing Sandstorm, did you know it was going to peak like that, or?
No, look, my buddy, my producer then, we're same age, we're then 20. We're in the studio, jumping up and down, slapping high fives. We were having fun. We loved what was happening, and we loved the sound, but we had no idea.
because goosebumps don't lie, of course. Yeah,
That's true.
Goosebumps don't lie.
Funny anecdote about my buddy JS. He had a nice studio setup, but he had like a B&W hi-fi speakers, not like actual studio monitors. And he had a real 909, and he was checking that the 909 was kicking right by 2 fingers on the cone. Like not, I mean,
That's
yeah, of
crazy.
course listening, but now it's right. Now it's that's how he did it. That's how Sandstorm's kick, for instance, back then was like tested. Now it's right.
What was your first reaction to seeing it peak?
Sorry.
What was your first reaction to seeing Sandstorm peak?
Well, it happened also really weirdly quickly. Like, I'm going to answer in a little different way. So when we first burned like CDs of it, and we went to local club, like in our small town, neither of us played, but the local DJ played it. And we thought that we were in Candid Camera because the place went fucking nuts. Like, there's a long, quiet breakdown. And you could hear people running to the dance floor. You could hear sneakers squeaking and people yelping. And we're like, this can't be real. It was so strange. And the peaking, it happened quite quickly, but it was only like a Nordic couple of countries that we did DJ promo first. But it stayed number 1 on the Finnish dance chart for 17 weeks, and we kind of knew that something's in it, but I still had no idea that it would go beyond that anywhere. Like, there was no guarantees or no anything.
I can imagine that right after all the success, remixes started pouring in, of course. What was the biggest remix request from back then?
Oh, that
Because everybody probably wanted to have that sound in a
yeah.
remix.
So you know what? I have an answer to that as well. We only used the do sound in one remix. We refused overusing it, and then actually it became kind of the opposite. So the only one we used it in was is it York and ATB Fields of Love? Yeah. And that has that sound. But yes, it was, I mean, like, especially back in those days, it was like that. If you did have a sound, everybody wanted it. And back then, remix fees were quite nice as well. Yeah.
So you had a real 909. For the viewers at home, that's like the legendary drum computer.
Yes.
And was it also a real 303?
No, and actually, if you're talking about the do lead sound in Sandstorm, that's not a 303 sound.
Ah, what is it?
Yeah, it's actually a little bit like a dull mid 303 sound, but it's a sample. And what makes it unique is that it's a kind of crappy 8-bit sample, and when you distort it, it becomes what you hear. And the crazy thing is that I wasn't that well trained or whatever, but I somehow put it in the right range. If you play it a little higher than that, it sounds like crap. If you play like really thin, if you play it lower, it growls in a wrong way. So that's like the place. Yeah.
You just felt it had to be there.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
By accident / vibe.
Happy accident.
Yes.
If we're looking to the future, what is something you're looking forward to do?
You know what? So I started as a live act first. And the first 3 or 4 years I did, I had a background CD 2-stem system basically. I had bass and beats on one CD and synths and vocals and effects on one. So I could like draw the bass beats down, and then I had a hardware sequencer and sampler and synth that I would throw in, kind of like I could live it up. Because the tape stuff was boring. So, long answer. Then, 2004 or so, I started DJing, and I've been DJing since. But next year, I'm going to do a little bit of a live thing again. I'm really excited about that. And first of all, creating those versions of the tracks for the live show is going to be great. Planning visuals and all that kind of stuff is going to be really nice.
Is that also in combination with your other project that's coming?
There's certain stuff that is coming, and the live thing is definitely one thing that I want to do as soon as I get around to doing it. Yeah.
About your newer work, what do you feel like really inspired your newer work?
Well, I think I've grown as a producer. I've learned actual like technical mixing and production techniques better, and that's given me wider scope and sort of confidence to try different things out and work. I've opened up working wise so that I want to collaborate more, both production and writing side, and that brings me. It's selfish. So I learn, but it's also selfish that I get to like if I collaborated with Chuckie, I would get your sound that I'm after or part of it, and cross-pollinating those fan bases, but also actually the learning from the sound. That's one of the cool things.
If you had to describe it and put it in a genre, what would you call your latest project?
It's a mix of progressive house, progressive trance, but I use that loosely. I suck at categorizing stuff.
Oh yeah, same here. So what is your favorite BPM?
My favorite BPM, let's just say it's 128 now. Yeah.
Darude, we're gonna thank you, and we're gonna go to the next DJ.
Thank you
for
so
being
much
here.
for joining us here.
Of course.
But one short little question: when you do your, when you're gonna come back and do your live thing, are you gonna pass by Amsterdam?
You have to. You have to.
I mean, we are talking globally, and it depends if we have good promoters who want to book me in Amsterdam, but I think we do.
Maybe next year at ADE.
Will be nice. Thank you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, Darude.
Darude is on fire!
Thank you. That's your mic. Deze kijkt
Ja, dus we moeten nu... So we have our next guest.
Yes.
Mr. Jian Varela.
Great to be here. Great to be here.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
You were born in Panama,
Yes.
and I'm wondering immediately, how do we notice that in your music?
Excuse me?
How do we notice that you're from Panama in your music? Is
How
there
do you-
something?
How do you notice the first release of mine that really brought me out to the culture and to the house music community was Oiga Morena. It was a record that grabbed a folklore Panamanian song by Nenito Vargas, and I recreated it into house music, right? And it was the record that signed me with Laid Back Luke. So that day, we were in Miami Music Week, right? And I got to Miami after the pandemic, an EP of 6 records. Somehow I got face to face with Luke, and he heard the records and signed me to Mixmash at that moment, and that changed my life.
The rest is history.
Yeah, that changed my life 360, and it was the first time being from Panama that I really felt connected to this world of dance music, to this culture, right? That sometimes it might be difficult for us to really connect with, because for us, we see it on social media, we see it on television, we see our favorite DJs since we're very little. We're not 100% there, right?
We have no idea what the scene is like in Panama. Maybe you can enlighten us a little bit.
Panama has an interesting little scene. It's bubbling, but it's a small country.
Is it bubbling or is it bubbling?
Both. Both.
All right.
It's a small country. It's 4 million in the entire country. So it's very intimate, right? And the house events that are there are very intimate too. There's not a big culture, but these past years it's been growing a lot. And it's exciting with all the work that as Panamanian artists we've been putting into the scene, right? For a long time.
How did the people from Panama react to you?
It's been interesting. It's been I've done a evolution of my sound, because in the beginning I wasn't just a house producer. I used to produce Mumbaton, thanks to the boss here, respect. And I like to fuse dance music and Mumbaton and the Latin genres, and I got to produce with very big reggaeton artists like Sesh, Fade, Dalex. And slowly, as the more I connected with the house music scene around the world, I started really finding and discovering my sound. I was the type of artist that I was just releasing whatever I wanted to release, from 150 BPM to 110 BPM, and then I started bringing in the curve and really getting into it more and more, right?
So you maybe could say that you're introducing Panama to a new era?
Yeah, I mean, humbly, I'm just doing what I love. That's the biggest thing for me.
Just a question. I don't know if this is correct, but I once heard that reggaeton initially came from Panama, right?
Yeah. So the genre
crazy
that
fact.
originated was called plena. Plena by artists like El General, Nando
General,
Boom,
we know,
right? And this was derived, of course, from Jamaican music.
Yeah.
We have a very big Jamaican culture in Panama, and most of our pop music in Panama is dancehall. So this kind of seeped into all the sounds that we have in Panama, and even until nowadays, it's still the biggest genre in the country, right? So Plena originated, and then in Puerto Rico, they grabbed the influence of El General and Nando Boom and El Chombo, Rodney Clark, and made it into reggaeton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the history lesson here. See, we're still building on that. Like,
It's been a good weapon for me as an artist to use my roots my Panamanian roots,
When can we expect a house record with your influences?
Oh yeah, well, I'm
When is that coming?
I'm
'Cause,
going hard. I'm already
roots.
releasing. No, I'm already releasing one track every month. Really working on that influence of the Latin percussions, the drums,
Yeah.
with the house culture and the house music.
Wait, so El General is from Panama?
Yeah.
Really? Like the Muebela, Muebela?
Yeah.
That record was even big here.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. This last record I released that you heard it's called Sopa de Caracol. Was a big. There you go. I connected with Pilo Tejeda in a show in Honduras, and we were able to rework the record to a tech house record on. Oh yeah, and it's been of course, and it's been.
Can we hear it?
Of course,
Let's go.
That's the first one I'll play.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Jian Varela. Yeah, go. I'll hold your mic. ADE 2024 is already crazy, right?
So we got some exclusives here.
And we're getting an exclusive now. You know, it's funny. I know him for a long time.
Yeah, you told
didn't
me
even
once,
know,
right?
eh? You
No,
didn't even
I
know.
didn't know you know him.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, because I got Jian Varela. He's like, yeah, I went to his father's wedding or something like that, right? Like,
No, I went to the inauguration of his father.
all right. Vamos.
Si tú quieres bailar, sopa de caracol. Si tú quieres bailar, sopa de caracol. Si tú quieres bailar, sopa de caracol. La cintura muévela, con la cadera muévela, con la cintura muévela, con la cadera muévela. Si lo que quieres es bailar, si lo que quieres es explorar, si tú quieres bailar, sopa de caracol. Upi pa ti, yupi pa ti, ole role guanaga. Upi pa ti, yupi pa ti, ole role guanaga. Sopa de caracol. Si tú quieres bailar, sopa de caracol. Chequea. Si tú quieres bailar, sopa de caracol. Chequea. Si tú quieres bailar, sopa de caracol. Si tú quieres bailar, sopa de caracol.
find no other. You gon' find no other. You gon' find no other. Said what I said, left you on red. If you don't like me, go and find some other. Straight shot, 68 size gunner. Bad boy, gon' find no other. You gon' find no other. You gon' find no other. You gon' find no other. Straight shot, 68 size gunner. Bad boy, you gon' find no other. 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 My bag, spin it now, stuck it up, so I stun it out. Pink parades, but I'm in my lane. High on vibes, you ain't on my plane. If I don't call it from out of line, man, it's 5 a.m. and I'm out my mind. Let me be not, you ain't my mother. When I leave, you gon' find no other. When I leave, you gon' find no other. You gon' find no other. I'm a straight shot, 68 size gunner. Bad gon' find no other.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jian Varela. He will be playing a few more tracks while we continue with the interview, if that's all right. Amazing. So we have an amazing new guest, or not a new guest, but we have an amazing guest. And I'm very happy you're here. Ultra Naté.
Thank you.
Amsterdam, give it up for Ultra Naté. Hey! Thanks
All the
so
way-
much for coming.
All the way from Maryland, is that right?
That's right, Baltimore, Maryland.
How is it to be here in Amsterdam for ADE?
I always love ADE. This is where the business is getting done.
Nice.
Yes.
And I also heard you brought the Deep Sugar party.
Yes, I revived my Deep Sugar Party with Radio FG, who I'm a resident DJ on. So Radio FG and Ultra Naté presented Feminine Touch, trying to center women, DJs, as well as new and emerging women artists. And obviously representing my Deep Sugar Party, which I'd done for 3 years pre-COVID. So it's our first time coming back.
Oh, wow. And so it's the first time after COVID here in Amsterdam?
Yes.
Nice. Where is it? So
It was at
everybody-
Blend XL this year.
All right.
I have a very long relationship with the owners of Blend, who formerly owned a club called YOLO. And it's very LGBTQ focused in that community, but it's open to everyone. It's the vibe. It's where house music began in, you know, those communities and with black and brown communities. So
you played the Pride in Amsterdam as well,
I did,
right?
and that's
Yeah.
how we formed a relationship, and we've been friends ever since. So the first year I wanted to do Deep Sugar, I reached out to them because they had the venue. We already had a relationship, so it was very easy to collaborate from there.
Nice. So to us, you're a real legend.
Thank you.
Like to talk a little bit about myself. I remember being in Spain in the early 2000s. I don't know when Free came out. When was that?
97.
So 97. I was in Spain in 97 watching the TV, and it was a commercial for Pacha. And I see this song I'd never heard, and it goes, "You're free," and I was mesmerized.
Thank you.
Immediately, I like that. You know, sometimes the feelings don't lie, and I was like that song. So I'm very happy that after all these years,
Yes.
you can be here
And
with
then
us.
we became fast friends over the years.
We did a remix and
That's
all
right.
that. So can you tell us a little bit about the starting of your career?
The start of my career was actually in 1988. So Free was not the beginning of my career, which some people think, but that was like the largest global hit. But I was signed to Warner Brothers in 1989. So my first record came out in 1989 with the subsequent album. So I had 2 albums on Warner. And then I ended up going to Strictly Rhythm in 1997.
89.
And yes, in
And was that
89.
house music, or-
It was house. It was garage.
Oh, wow.
In the very beginnings of, really with the template of what dance music started, was all of those tracks that were really R&B, danceable R&B records being made in people's basements. So we legitimately made a record in the basement. My producers were Basement Boys.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was in
I didn't know.
I was in a production deal with Basement Boys. And I had never sang or written songs before the moment I actually wrote It's Over Now.
Wow.
But I was a club kid, but I was in university going into medicine was my intention. And I walked into a club that was based on Paradise Garage in New York, in Baltimore, where I live. It's called Odell's. So it had a Richard Long sound system. He was the one that was behind all of Paradise Garage sound. And we had this sound system. So when you walked into that venue, it was so overwhelming. The lights, the sound, the people, just that whole energy of a culture that was really burgeoning underground and no one knew about yet. So it was New York, Chicago, and small urban centers like Baltimore, where I was from.
Talking about Baltimore, another style that was really famous everywhere, including Holland, and we were big on the Be More sound. And I
Yes.
never really talked about Be More with somebody actually from Baltimore. So this is my chance.
Yes, get at
Tell
me.
us about, because you were there.
Yeah.
Obviously, house music was big, and then this local
Yes.
sound came up. Tell us about that.
The local sound has always been that. So there were always these sub-genres within our house music community.
Yeah.
And that sound that you're talking about, which we call Baltimore Club,
Exactly.
specifically was a derivative of what we were doing in the house music community. So it was kind of a lick from the early origins of hip hop and Miami bass,
Yeah.
but done in Baltimore's own organic way. So we had our lane of kids that were in the Baltimore club scene and those of us in the house music scene, and we were all kind of a family, intermixed and kind of supporting each other. And we were really all supporting each other's careers in that way.
Crazy. And to see Baltimore Club blowing up worldwide.
Yeah.
You probably-
So a lot of the things that the pop artists are nicking from are really from those early Baltimore club sounds. You know, that syncopation was happening way, way, way before then. But because Baltimore's such a small city, it's not like a New York. It doesn't sound as glamorous. So a lot of people really didn't realize like what was happening there with all of these groups of people that were putting out these artists that were coming from nowhere and having major success. Even from my camp with Basement Boys, at the time, the Basement Boys were the only production team in those early house music days that had 3 or 4 different artists in their camp, all signed to major label deals. So I was on Warner, Crystal was on Sony or Columbia, Mass Order was also signed to a major, and I think they had one other act at the time.
Wait, you said Crystal.
Yes.
You mean Crystal Waters?
Crystal Waters,
She
yes.
was also from Baltimore.
She's also from Basement
Oh,
Boys
just
camp.
Crystal. We're talking Crystal Waters here.
She's also from Basement Boys camp. So that's what was happening in our scene at that time. So I really was just a kid that like fell in love with club music. I was really just a club kid. And the boys were the ones who were like, oh, just come down and like audition, hang out or whatever. For me, it was really just like something fun to do. I had no aspirations of being an artist. I didn't really see that, but I was willing to give it a try. So I kind of just
I
did
guess
it.
you knew you could sing, right?
I mean, I sang in my church choir. I wasn't a singer.
Are you gonna show us what Baltimore sounds like?
I don't do Baltimore Club, but you had to come to Deep Sugar to get the beats.
I'm coming.
You gotta get the Deep Sugar vibes.
What is the Deep Sugar vibe all about?
So because I come from a space of legends like your Larry Levans or Frankie Knuckles, or your Louis Vegas, Timmy Regisfords, and David Morales, and people like that, and then our local club culture, which was Wayne Davis and Teddy Douglas of Basement Boys, we are very vocal focused, but also very like beat driven. So if you can think of what you define as Baltimore Club in your mind, but with a house context, it's that
Nice.
same kind of drive.
So Deep Sugar really represents the sound of Baltimore?
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Deep Sugar, we have to go.
So it was long before Free came into being. I couldn't have gotten to a place where I could write a song like Free if I hadn't cut my chops learning my skill, learning my art as a singer-songwriter while I had a major label deal that was now asking a kid that was green as a blade of grass to now write an album for a major label. So I learned trial by fire at the deep end.
Beautiful. I love the story.
Thank you.
Maybe you can come back next year and we continue.
Absolutely.
Time runs fast. I don't know if you feel comfortable and if you want to play some records. That would be amazing.
We'll see.
Check it out. Check it out with
We'll check
Gian.
it out.
Why you put her on the spot, man? Don't worry, sweetie. So when's the next Deep Sugar party for you?
Next Deep Sugar party is next week in Baltimore, actually, on the rooftop of the Baltimore.
We're coming.
Of Lower Baltimore Hotel.
All right. Well, we're on to the next artist, Djeff.
Thank you.
I don't know
Thank
if
you
you
for
know
being here.
Djeff. If you don't,
I don't know
you should
Djeff.
talk with him. Amazing, amazing Afro House artist.
Yeah.
I mean, he went beyond Afro House, to be honest. Djeff, where are you at? Vamos.
Hey! Come on in, Jeff.
So, two legends. So, for all those who don't know Djeff, I mean, please present yourself.
Hello guys, I'm Djeff from Angola. I'm a DJ and producer, and I love music. Basically, it's that.
That's it. Okay, thank you. So, actually, the last time I saw Djeff was when we were together in Angola, in Luanda. We played at this big festival, like the biggest festival I've ever played in your country. It was beautiful. Together with Djeff, Black Coffee. Who else? Well, I mean, that's already quite a lineup. And it was beautiful. Actually, after that, we did a few extra cities. It was amazing.
Yes.
But I think I remember that maybe the first time I met you was around 2013, around that time. I don't know.
Yeah, it was my beginning. I just moved to Angola, and I started making music, and it was nice because I'm a big fan of your work, and I was like really young and inspired by your music, and it was really good.
He was pushing. So I would like to know, like, you started with like what I would call real Afro, Angolan Afro house.
Yes.
And what made you, and I know a lot of producers from that time, they stick to that. But for some reason you were like, I'm gonna go my own way. So,
yeah, I was influenced like music from Ultra Naté, for example, Joe Closel, Onchola de Louis Vega. I started my career listening to your guys' music, and I felt it was a little bit different from the other people was doing. Because of course, from South Africa, Black Motion, Black Coffee, Shimza were doing something completely different. I thought, like, this is the sound I want to follow, you know? And then I started making music, and here I am.
Jeff, I'm also wondering, how is the Angolan music industry, the community, how is it over there?
It's quite small. It's quite small. We are kind of a little bit in the beginning. We are following the South African guys. But yeah, we are growing. We are not so much producers doing music because we were more into the Kuduro thing. It was a little bit more faster, like 140 BPM, like techno. But yeah, right now we are pushing our sound and we are coming.
he's saying it's small because maybe it's not so famous yet, but if you ask me, it's not small at all. And it's been very influential for the music that I do, has always been. And if you ask me, it's, I mean, I don't want to compare styles, but there's a lot of energy and a lot of interesting stuff coming out of Angola. So, but after that, after a while, you went to Berlin, right?
Yes, I signed with WNGT from Watergate. And right now I've been just traveling the world, you know, playing the music I love, and yeah.
And why Berlin? Why not New York? Why not Baltimore? Why not?
I don't know, because I was always a big fan of techno as well. And the first time I went to Watergate in Berlin to play, I felt like I'm in heaven because I'm playing like Afro house, Afro tech, mixing with techno, and the people will just in the zone, you know, like, is this is what I'm looking for, you know? So yeah, after that, is this.
How do you feel about the global impact of the Afro sound in music? How do you feel about the global impact?
How I feel? I feel good.
Did it feel like finally, like, or...
Yeah, I think all of this is like a process because the music started in Africa, you know, so we are always going around. And at this point, after all these genres in electronic music, I think we are coming back a little bit to the beginning in terms of sound. So right now, the drums, the melodies, it became a little bit more minimal, I think, at this point. The disco and the house music are coming back strong than ever. And yeah.
Did you see in the, let's say, in the local Angolan scene, obviously everybody there follows and sees what's happening in the world with Afro. Do you see it's really inspiring the new generation to become producer or starting a record label?
Yeah, I think so. To be honest, during the COVID, we lost a little bit of the movement of the people that follow the electronic music. But nowadays, after with all these social media stuff, the people, the young generation are a little bit more into it. So, yeah, I think it's a matter of time that you're going to start listening to more producers and more artists coming from Angola doing what we do.
You also have your label?
Yeah, Kazukuta Records. And the first label, electronic music from Angola.
The first electronic music label from Angola?
Yes.
It's a nice achievement.
Thank you.
So so being so much involved, not only in your own career, but also in the career of others, how do you see I won't say just Afro house, but let's say Angolan Afro house or the music from your sphere. Where do you see it going? What is your idea of? I don't know.
The strategy for Kazukuta is one, and for Djeff, I can say it's a little bit different.
Okay.
Because at the point where I am, after, I don't know, like almost 20 years of career, 20 years of career, right now I'm trying to experiment, try something different, a little bit more with machines, between DJ and vocals and orchestra, so it's something else. But for my people there, the music is becoming a little bit more techy, but at the same time a little bit more instrumental, with some live instruments playing live. They are not understanding really well what we are doing with Ableton Live and all these instruments, these things. But we're learning. I'm trying to pass the information,
you keep it organic.
knowledge, exactly, and become more organic.
I can't wait to hear you play.
Okay, let me drop some
Let's
tracks.
go.
Let's
Can't
go.
wait.
Go, Djeff. Party
Thank
people. Give it up for Djeff. Yeah.
Yes, we're already here with our next guest, Nala. Give her applause. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yes.
Are you enjoying this ADE?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Have you already been to some parties or?
No, this is actually my first night.
It's your
Gonna
first
be-
gig,
This
but
your
not your
kickoff.
last tonight, right?
No, no. I have 5 in total.
Five gigs.
How late will you
This
be
is our
home?
most wanted DJ of the night.
I think so, yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
So yeah, Nala's from Holland, but we chose to do this interview in English so we can share it with the rest of the world. Otherwise, we're gonna have to pay so much for subtitles, and like we don't go there. So thank you for coming. Can you
Thank
introduce
you.
yourself to the viewers who don't know you yet?
So I'm Nala. I'm from Utrecht, and I'm an open format DJ or multi-genre artist. So I play a lot of music in a lot of different styles and vibes, basically.
And very well. So
Thank you.
we met, I think, 1 year ago in Jakarta. We played in the same place.
Yes.
And I didn't know about you then, but I started following you, checking your music, and I really liked it. For me, it was a very creative way of playing open format. So I was like, okay, tell us about yourself.
Thank you. That's so good to hear.
So we have 2 open format DJs here. Like, who was your open format inspiration, for example? Like,
So
when
he-
did you
he asked
decide?
Me, he asked me that before, and I find it very hard to answer that because I have a lot of inspirations. But I think if I have to like name someone now, it will be Jero Vendo or Jael, because for me those are really big DJs who already did open format or multi-genre a long time ago.
What made you decide to become an open format DJ?
So I love a lot of different music, and I play a lot of different music. And then I thought, why should I limit myself to only one of those genres and not play everything what I want and like to play?
Nice.
I hear some feedback. Check 1-1. I don't know. Everything okay? All right. So guests keep coming in. So I don't know if you've been DJing for how long? For how long have you been DJing?
I think now 7 years.
And how have you seen the sound and the scene change over these 7 years?
That's a good question.
Like, has the market increased for the stuff you and your colleagues do in your genre?
Definitely, yeah. Because when I started DJing, I started really in the edit scene also. Because when you talk about multi-genre or open format, edits fits there perfectly. But when I started, it was not so well known. And if you look now, I think especially in Amsterdam, a lot of people play edits now.
Yeah.
It's better known.
Okay,
than,
and like, do you see it like also? I don't know how much you play internationally. I mean, we met abroad, but do you see like a big international scene for the Dutch open format DJs? Is it a thing outside of Holland?
I think so, yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think it is. It's still a niche, but it gets better or bigger in specific places.
Nice.
Do you think there's a way for open format DJs to actually make like a big hit song? And what would it sound like?
Can you ask that again? What do
So,
you mean?
do you think it's possible for an open format DJ to make a hit in a specific genre?
I think so, yeah.
Because how would you then translate all the different genres you like? Do you think it's possible to blend it in just one record?
Well, I think if you look to, for example, edits, it's something people already know, but with a different beat or with a different vibe. So it's really, I don't know how to say that in English, but
oh yeah, they're recognizable. Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
And I think that always works wherever you play it.
What is the biggest edit you play in your sets nowadays?
I have a lot actually, so I can't
Wait,
choose
I know
it.
you have a lot of edits because you did an edit pack recently, right? Tell us
I
about the
did.
edit pack.
So I really wanted to make my own edit pack already for a long time. I think since COVID started, I said, okay, now I'm gonna make my own music. And then I think half a year ago, I really decided to put my full effort in it. and now I finally finished it, and it's done.
And everybody go check it out. Where can they hear your edit back?
On SoundCloud and on
SoundCloud.
Bandcamp.
All right. And last question. When you started to make your own edits, did it also help you or encourage you to make your own music from scratch?
Definitely, yeah. It helped me in a lot of ways, actually. Also with my own sound, when I DJ, I know now more clear what I want to play or what fits and what don't fit since I started producing.
Nice.
So yeah, it helped in a lot of ways. I think.
Last question.
What's the definitely no-go for a set? Because you said you know exactly what you want to hear. What's the no-go in a DJ set?
Well, I think especially in open format, it's so free that there's not really a no-go. You
Nice,
can
I like that.
play. Yeah.
I like that, you're
If
free.
it fits, it fits, basically.
Nice,
Yeah.
thank you.
Do you feel like playing some tracks?
Of course.
That would be amazing. Hey. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Djeff, all the way from Angola. Muito obrigado. And I want to our next DJ, Nala, from Nederland.
pé mi débẹ̀ o. Too sure ìwọ gan máa débẹ̀ o. Straight forward and no get to kill ẹ̀ o. Yéyé o, kò ṣeé pé o. 247 mi yẹn déyẹ o. You know strong mi fi dé for déyẹ o. Mo ń gbóná orí mi débẹ̀ o. Kánpé o, kánpé o. Mo dúró kánpé o. Ó ti pẹ́ tí mo ti sáyé o. Àbílá ti ìdọ̀jà mi sáré o. Sáré o, sáré o. Mo gbé wọn sáré o. Ẹ̀yin tèmi ẹ jẹ́ ká jayé o. Àyè kan ló wà kó sáyé o. sensi. Powerful sensi. Sensi. Powerful sensi. Sensi. Powerful sensi. Sensi. Powerful sensi. One wine on me, chant on me. We dey in a dance so very jerry. Sweet woman dey fan for boy this. The loba biggie get the for boy this. One throw make king na boy this. The loba model for boy this. Me go balla den girl in a dance. The uma loba fasi for me charlie. Sexy miss for the wa murder. Sexy miss for the wa murder. Sweet party na na for sensi. Party na na for sensi. Sweet party na na for sensi. Party na na for sensi.
Yes, Sirene, welcome.
Yo, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate
How are you
it.
doing?
I'm doing good. I'm cooked, bro. I'm cooked. ADE has been kicking my ass. AD has been kicking my ass. Like, I've been out for 2 nights in a row.
What have you done already?
I went to Parallel, Feels Right, with Chamos, Jero Vandal, and the whole shebang. That was really lit.
Yeah, what was the vibe?
Shut down, bro. Shut down vibes, for real. Like, yeah, I ended up drunk somewhere. I don't know. So it was a good night.
But you
was
made
a
it
good
safe
night.
here, so it's
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we safe. We good.
So, I don't know if it's correct, but I have the impression that you're compared to your last ADE. I don't even know if you came last year.
Yeah, no, I was in India last year.
All right.
During ADE, I was touring, so.
But
I
have the impression that your career went like this since last year. No?
Yeah, well, it's felt that way. Like, I've been busy, I've been doing my thing, but it's just, I feel like the online presence and just the music, everything has just been spreading, and people have just been finding me online and really realizing what I'm doing, and the right people have been finding me. So just people who love what I do, like specifically. So yeah, it's been a wild year.
Nice.
Not even in a way of doing so much, but just people finding what I do. Like that's.
How long ago did you start?
I started DJing at 14.
14.
Yeah, I was 14, and that's 11 years now. So, like, officially, like, starting, like, to really DJ in the clubs at, like, 16, 17. I wasn't even allowed in the clubs back then, but, yeah, but I just find my way in. I did Kunstbende back then. And I won.
Kunstbende.
Yeah, that's for, like, the youngings. And that I won that in 2017, and that's when I could play at like Lowlands and Mysteryland, and that kind of gave me like the push up to start playing in clubs and like getting some experience actually.
So if you want, tell us something about your early like inspirations, like.
Well,
how to start with?
Yeah.
How would you describe your own sound for the people that don't know you?
Well, I would describe my sound as. The easiest word is eclectic, but like I play so many genres. It varies from Afrobeat to funk, soul, jazz. Also, I'm a piano. Like all diaspora music in the world, I just search for it. And Selection was actually the big platform. There's a platform from the United States. I found them, and they were like pushing music all over the globe. People were like just doing things differently. Guys like K Tronada and Sam Gallatry and Sango, like they all came from there. So I kind of followed the Selection path, and I just play everything. Everything that you think cannot be played in the club, I play it.
Could you say that those people are your inspiration?
They definitely are. Yeah, like I've been working with them now for a few years as well. So I went from like a fan and listening to their radio shows to like working with them directly, which is very, very nice and inspirational. But they really inspire me. All of these guys, there's so many artists in the world who are like on a different wave, and they just inspire me the most.
You've been traveling a lot lately, or
Yeah.
actually a lot. And what is your favorite place so far?
Oh, that's a very good question. Australia really surprised me.
They have a crazy scene, right?
Yeah, they really do. Like Melbourne.
Yeah.
Melbourne was such a nice city. Like the way they treat people, and like usually when you get into a city, there's always people complaining, right? Like, yeah, I don't like it, or they like, no. Everyone from young to old, everyone liked the city. Like they just connect so well with culture, and they love music. But Australia is the first one that comes to mind. But I also love Portugal. Portugal's
also
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
but I could not choose. I just love traveling. It's really inspirational. Like, it makes you realize that we're not the center of the universe in the Netherlands.
Oh no, I realized that soon enough.
Yeah.
What is the big difference for you between, let's say, the Dutch scene and I'll take Portugal?
Yes.
What's the significant difference?
I feel like, and this might be weird to say it this way, but the Netherlands doesn't really have a culture in terms of, we have a culture, but it's all mixed. So everyone's looking at each other and we're all trying to get better. They all brought their own sauce in that sense.
You want to say it's not like one platform or one...
Exactly. And what I figure in other countries is like, they have a strong identity, but because we have so many immigrants who bring their own sound, who bring their own style and way of playing.
I think it's the same with cooking. Like, if you ask me how is the Dutch food, and I'm like, But then we've got a lot of good food here, you know.
We got so many cultures in the Netherlands, and I feel like that extends to the artistry as well. Like, we got so many dope artists, and everyone brings their own sauce. We got Africans, we got Suriname, we got Turkish people, we got everything. Yeah. Like, and
Caribbean.
And people outside of the Netherlands, that's why ADE is so big, you know. Like, people realize that. Like, come on, we're a country of like 18 million people, and people come from all over the world to here to like get inspired by the way we work and what we do. So I feel like the culture, the diverse cultures, that's the strength of the Netherlands, and that differs from other countries. Like, it's the way I see it.
It is, yeah. No, it definitely is. Where do you see the sound that you're doing going the next few years?
Honestly, the way I started producing, because I produce as well, and I wanted to find a timeless pocket. So I want to make music that can outlive my style and just not be in the moment, but just people could find it in 20 years and be like, oh, I still fuck with the music. Like, I love it. Yeah, I want to leave a legacy. Producers like Jules, Jay Dilla, all these producers left a legacy behind, and I see the African sound taking over. The clubs have been going crazy on like the rhythms and the piano fusion and Afrobeat sound. Then I'm African, so I have to represent my Nigerian heritage, you know? Like, yeah, gotta.
Are we gonna hear some Nigerian tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got some bangers with me.
You ready?
Nice.
You wanna go?
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, until now we had Nala on the ones and twos. Give it up. And coming next is Sirene. Thanks so much, man.
With pretty treat them, move me the low key with him meet them. Pull up on the armrest, kick them. Yeah, you don't really push with any treatment. Yeah, anybody Jenna step is station. Yeah, beach party with an organization. And when we see PP, them a dream weekend. They a shout, yeah. We are the people on Sunday, say yeah. Up a dress there, we are gonna get wet. Let's say, better not say you're sexy. You laugh on the next day, check me like a cosplay. Pool party, we are gonna the mansion, yeah, the youth halfway. Everybody say, yeah.
Party people, give it up for Sirene. Don't stop, don't stop.
And we're here with Rob Manga.
Goedenavond.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Rob Manga. Amsterdam legend. Rob, thank you for coming. Like I said, you're one of the Amsterdam legends. I just asked you, how long have you been DJing? You told me 35 years.
More than 35 years.
More
Correct.
than 35 years.
Correct.
So what I just told Clyde, like the first time I had a conversation with Rob was at Salsa Lounge, which back in the days was like this big Latin house event in Hotel Arena.
Right.
And he played this track that I'd never heard before. And I was in the room and I hear this track. I'm like, wow, I gotta have it. I went to him and he just gave it to me like, oh yeah, this is this and that. While usually DJs are like very protective of their shit.
You know.
And he wasn't. But the cool thing is, this was a Afro House track. This is one of the legendary Afro House tracks.
Yeah, it's a classic already, right?
And we're talking 20 years back, right?
Right.
15, whatever.
Yeah, 20 years. And you know, music is to share. You know, I come from a time that DJs put stickers on the records, you know, like, but, you know, we passed that station.
Yeah.
So if someone comes up to the DJ booth and asking for the record, you gave it, you know.
Yeah. It's better. And now we're here.
Right.
It's beautiful. So, over these 35 years, I don't even know, when did ADE start? 20 years ago? I have no idea.
Something like that.
So you are pre-ADE. Tell us a little bit about the world pre-ADE.
Well, I can give you a short question. I actually never played on ADE. Right, maybe one or two times. And I think for me, the rest of the year is way more important. I mean, look around you. The DJ thing became really a big, big business, right?
Yeah.
And for me, DJing is everything for me, you know, like it's my passion. And to fit in, I don't know how to be at a roster or from an agency. I think the problem is that I've been 35 years and you can't put me in a box, you can't put me in a genre. I play in the biggest techno club, for example. I play hip hop parties. I love funk, so I love Brazilian music. I love Afro music. So,
actually, I heard one of his sets a few years back. I think this was during COVID or something, or maybe before. And I just sampled a track from his set. I was like, I gotta sample this. But I was like, I gotta give him props. So in the end, we did the track together. But I sampled a Brazilian track from you.
Yeah, it's
from your set.
It's a Syrian song.
Yeah.
It's from a 45. The track that you ripped up, it was 60 minutes of world music, all final 45s. Yeah. And I was really happy that you find that track because you have a good ear for good music.
Thank you. I think we all do here.
I have a question for you. If you had to choose a format forever, would you choose vinyl or digital?
Once again?
So if you had to choose between playing on vinyl forever or digital forever, which
vinyl.
one? Yeah, that's my guy, vinyl.
You know, I love digital because on digital you can mix way more better than vinyl.
More advanced.
For me, it's no problem, to be honest. But that's the future, and I want to move on technology, but I will always stick with vinyl and digital. But vinyl for me is more physical. I love to bring records. I don't mind to carry two crates of records, and but putting a needle on the record and play with that, that means a lot for me. It's just a different dynamic for me personally.
How do you feel about the fact that there's such a new, let's say, a new hype around vinyl? Because I think I walk through Amsterdam, there's way more record stores now than it was back in the past. Yeah. How do you feel about it?
I feel really happy about it. So people can shop around and dig deeper into vinyl. The problem from now is that records became way more expensive. I've been doing this for more than 35 years. going to London, going to Paris, going to New York, just to dig records. I'm really happy that that is coming back. But the second thing is, you have to learn how to play with vinyl. You can have a great collection, but that said nothing about being a good club DJ. And I'm talking about record collectors, club DJs, and you have also like hype DJs. I mean, I prefer to play vinyl 4-hour sets instead of 60 minutes because what is the message that you're going to bring as a DJ playing 60 minutes?
I mean, it's like different. It's different games.
It's a different game, but I am always asking or feeling, what is this DJ giving to me? What is his story about behind him as a DJ, as an artist?
Do you think it's necessary to play on vinyl to be a good DJ?
No. I'm talking about as a DJ in general. Even you play digital, but what is your story as an artist? The genre that you play, why you play Brazil? I love Brazil. Brazil is just all about love, and the music is just amazing. But how are you going to make transition from the other song to the other?
A lot of people, such as myself, see you as like a tastemaker. So you have to tell us, what's the new thing that you notice? Like, okay, this is gonna happen. This is really exciting for me. I know you got something.
Well, I got something to say. Good music was never away.
True.
So stick to the good music, stick to quality music. That's my point of view.
Any new wave that really caught your attention? Like, okay, you gotta check this out.
It's funny that you were saying, but I'm really caught by not a new style, but the UK bass, drum and bass thing. And I was just talking about this DJ after me, Schuurman.
Yeah, Schuurman, yeah.
And what he's bringing, I really respect that.
Yeah.
It's not about technology, but it's about a
vibe, would you say?
It's about talent, taste, and be open-minded and just follow your heart. Just do what you want to do. It's an art form, right?
Yeah.
And it's a total new style, and I think that's going to inspire other people. And
I think eventually it gives me satisfaction to see that people get inspired by me, for example. But also it's also great to see, like, yeah, man, I want to be like Rob Manga. And that's cool to see. To me personally, you're one of my favorites, and
thank you.
Definitely a hero and a pioneer in the scene. And I'm wondering why he's not the nachtburgemeester of Amsterdam yet. He should be.
You should be. Yeah, you should be.
Let's vote for Rob Manga for the nachtburgemeester.
Are you ready to show us what 35 years of experience sounds like?
Well, I can, but I prefer to play songs that you never heard before.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Give it up for
Sirene so far. Hey! Party people, give it up for Rob Manga! Hey!
All right, we're here with Kuro. Give it up for her.
Yeah.
All the way from Brazil, Kuro!
Thank you for invite.
Mi español no está great. Gregor's español, muy bien.
We speak a mixture with Spanish and English.
We're doing
Sorry
both.
for my English, but my English more or less.
We speak Spanglish, we will be fine.
Spanglish.
Okay.
Spanglish, portanjo. So, welcome to Amsterdam. Is this your first ADE?
First time here.
Okay, first time in Holland?
First time in Holland.
What do you think of Holland?
Yeah.
Is it cold or?
Sorry?
Is it the weather? What do you think of Holland?
No. In London, more cold.
Yeah.
Gostas da gente de Holanda, as pessoas aqui, a festa.
Gostei, são pessoas. I like it. Are people happy? Are people excited?
Okay, so she's happy here. You can stay. No problem, you can stay here.
Yeah, you can stay.
So, the reason I know you is because a few months ago you sent me a demo to my label.
Yeah.
And we just released the song.
Releasing to the best.
To the bass.
Yeah.
And now you're here, and I just found out that tonight you're playing at Paradiso, right?
Yeah.
So you're going fast.
Yeah, I will play two parties today. And
Paradiso
Visions,
and? Which ones? Paradiso and?
Paradiso and Visions.
Visions.
Yeah. Yesterday I played in 1001 in celebration for the future of dancing.
How was it?
Sorry?
How was it?
Estuvo bom?
Was good?
Yeah. Yeah, very good.
Okay. So, can you tell us, podes falar pouco sobre a tua história musical? Can you tell us a little bit about your musical background, history?
Yes. I played in violin last my 13 years.
Yeah.
And I played in igreja.
In the igreja? In the church?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last I'm changed for photographer of the DJs. And my first is DJs of the Alok.
Big, for the people who don't know, is one of the biggest, probably the biggest, or maybe one of the biggest Brazilian DJs.
Around for 2014 years, more or less.
And that's when you changed to becoming a DJ?
I'm time to become a DJ in 2008.
Okay.
In December.
Okay. The first or the second? No, sorry. So, and when I think of Brazil, when we think of Brazil, we think of bossa nova, samba, funk.
Yeah.
Is that music inspiring you in your music, or do you want to stay away from that?
In Brazil, Afro House, me and every DJ, uma das primeiras DJs de Afro House in Brazil.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the first.
Sorry?
One of the first you were.
She is one of the first Afro House DJs in Brazil.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and later we have Banho de Folhas of the Mass, Explored all the world. And my inspiration today, and you.
Okay,
It's
thank you very much. Muito obrigado.
I played in Canoa and in Tulum with Kenny Music invite for open night in Tulum in Zama, and I think this.
Very nice. So, in other words, you misturas um pouco o som do Brasil como o som do Afro House, Tech House e tudo.
I mix Afro House Brazil, Afro House Africa, and for Tech House more Latin.
Okay.
Melodic.
Can we hear it?
Yeah.
Podes tocar um pouco para nós?
I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so late.
Yeah, of course, because I always want to talk about food. I like food. I like Brazilian food. When I go there, I go to churrascarias and stuff. What is your favorite dish from Brazil that we should know about?
I want to
Speak
know
slow,
too.
please.
Okay, what is your favorite food from Brazil?
What's your favorite?
Food.
Food. Feijão.
Feijão?
Feijão.
What is feijão?
What is that?
Oh, black beans.
Black beans.
Yeah. I love it. I like it when I go and they bring the meat on a stick like this.
Feijão.
Thank you.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah? Nice.
Thanks so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Rob Manga so far. Hey!
Ik ga even die mic geven.
Hey.
Give it up for Kuro! And we proceed to our next guests. Please introduce yourself.
We are
Ranson,
Curaçao
Music
Heritage
Archive.
Boom! It's a really long name, a mouthful.
Great to have you here. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. And you?
I'm doing good also, thank you, Selwyn.
Nice. So, we never met before, at least not that I'm aware of, but I've been following you guys, what you've been doing on Instagram. I really like the culture that you're, like the history classes that you're giving online. So how did this come about? How did this start?
Well, for me, it was like, it still is an identity search. I'm from Curaçao, like Selwyn.
Yeah.
But he's 20 years older, I'm 20 years younger. It's like an identity search because we never really, although I never really had like cultural education and music is my thing. So I just went on to go and document all the music from the past and the contemporary music that took place on the ABC Islands, so Aruba, Curaçao, and Bonaire.
It's crazy. I had the honor to play with you. It was really fun. And what I noticed is that he knows his music. He was digging up like old school bubbling, like demos we forgot, and he plays them in a set, which makes sense. And then to see that, and I saw you absolutely killing the Dekmantel Festival, like legendary. How is the question? How?
I don't know. It's a main principle, besides Ranson, but it's like the same principle to only talk about contextual importance.
Yeah.
Contextual principles for me. I'm not gonna tweak music. I'm just gonna play music that has been made out of older contexts, and then kind of rewrite the puzzle.
Crazy.
To make it speak to the future, and I think that's also what Selwyn does, and that's where how did we come together?
Yeah, somebody called me and on the phone and so hey, a Dutch guy want to talk to you about Curaçao music. I was like, a Dutch guy want to talk to me about Curaçao music because I'm already digging in the music and making music documentaries about Curaçao and Caribbean music. And when we met, I thought he was. On the phone, he was 40 years old. But when we met, he was 20 years old. But he knew a lot. That's right. What you said. He knew already a lot. Like 5 years ago already.
From what I've witnessed, I saw him play in a techno festival. And basically, in the peak of his set, he was playing like similar BPM to techno, but it was full on soca, if you ask me, right? How did you come up with that plan?
It was over COVID. It's like a bedroom concept for me, and now that it's taking off, I'm just laughing, man. It's so funny. So, but yeah.
So, the Dutch Antilles are small islands, and I think there's a lot of things we here in Holland don't know about musically. Has a lot of music come out of Curaçao, Aruba?
Yeah, that's a good question. We as Curaçao people, we don't know what's on the islands.
Uh-huh.
Could you maybe explain what is a Curaçao sound?
Uh-huh. Okay, got it.
Okay, we'll wait. we'll let
We're gonna hear that. Yeah.
So when you are digging, you will find so much that the radio doesn't play, the TV doesn't show. So you're gonna know yourself also better via the music.
I see that you guys have a lot of vinyl with, like, say, Curaçao sounds. Because I don't really know. Tell me how, maybe you know because you did your research, where did the people from Curaçao, the musicians, press their music, like the vinyls? I would love to know that.
Venezuela.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back then Venezuela and Miami.
Yes.
Yeah, but mostly in Venezuela. So, but are those record plants still around?
No, like Venezuela back in the days,
Yeah.
back in vinyl time, was like a mecca. Like it was
For
like
vinyl.
Miami of Latin America, Caracas.
That
So
is
there were a
crazy.
lot of assets. Music industry was big there, and it's really close to Curaçao. So a lot of artists would just go there and press their vinyl records. So you would still see pressed in Venezuela.
Crazy.
Yeah, but also Miami at a certain moment.
Do you think that the Dutch Antilles have had their influence on the other islands around?
Of course.
So what is one of the big examples? Because we always talk about Cuba, Puerto Rico. Like what is one of the, I don't know, the key influences the Dutch Antilles have had on the other islands?
I mean, if you see back then also in Aruba, Bonaire, they making music just like Curaçao. Or, yeah, so it's,
Guys, I really can't wait to hear you play.
No, I'm sure. Listen, Curaçao definitely had a big influence. Like eventually, if you look at Bubbling, Morch is from Curaçao, you know. And I think conceptual, he like the way you said it, like conceptual. You were thinking about it, COVID, and really had a plan. And I think Morch did something similar with Bubbling music. So I can relate to what you're saying.
Yeah, totally. I think also during the 50s and 60s, Latin music was really big, especially Son Montuno from Cuba. But there was a really big exchange in between Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Curaçao. And
I learned that from your Instagram.
Okay, then go watch the Instagram.
What are you guys gonna play now?
What are we gonna play?
we're gonna play some Son Montuno, some Guaguancó.
You ready for it?
Yeah, we're ready for it.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Vámonos.
Yeah?
Listen.
Yeah.
There must be one record that you want to show the world. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Are you gonna steal
I'm
it?
sorry, let's go.
Are you gonna steal it? Mag het ook een cassette zijn?
Wow, cassette.
We're looking at Omar the Comes, Mabimbeck. We were talking about bobbling. Like I would pronounce it bobbling.
Bobbling.
And that was based on instrumentals of rub-a-dub rhythms from Jamaica, especially the trailer reload rhythm from Shabba Ranks. That is like the main of everything for us. And Omar the Comes totally remade that rhythm and also sang the song in Papiamento.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he is. It's called
You
Trailer.
know him. Nice.
Let's go, guys. I want to hear it.
I'm excited. Yo, crazy. Time flies, man, when you're having fun.
A cidade é grande, as pessoas grandes, e eu por aí, sem te encontrar, vou pedir a Oxalá. Oxalá quem guia, Oxalá quem te mandou.
Botaba taza, o porra bailar, mi pirin pin pin, boa por su biele, boamos los pieles, por el que aspertavo, di pirin pin pin, el ritmo tadushi, cosa suave, vai poco a poco, con mi pirin pin pin. Tu rendi explicavo, tu rendi avisavo, como que era baila, mi pirin pin pin. El ritmo está suave, el ritmo está dulce, vai poco a poco, con mi pirin pin pin. Dami talanta loco, curso ya moderno, dan tour que baila, mi pirin pin pin. Si vos estás gordo, vos que vas dispenso, pin pavo baila, mi pirin pin pin. Vos estás flaco, a vos estás gordo, vos te llamas Danky, la mi pirin pin pin. Un día va a bailarle, dime guapo.
Ay, dale un que mi corre calle. Oh, ni tampoco viaja mucho. Ay, dale un que mi va a Colombia. Oh, ni tampoco Santo Domingo. Ay, es que me pone atrás la casa. Va y don Benchina, Colombia, busca caricia colombiana. Va y don Benchina, Colombia, busca caricia colombiana. Tende caricia colombiana, quibra peche de mi cara. Na mi coffee pon caliente, así me vira tranquilo. Tanto es dominicana, aquí por un huevo de mi sopi. Saca sushi, fe mi orella, así me vira loco, loco. Ay, mi chichi, aguantame un cabello. Ay, papá, y Colombia un rato. No por aña carne, na corzón. Pide y compro un bacana, Colombia, mami.
Amor, tá duro pra inspire, pero mi prenda no está capaz de memoria pa inspire. Dicha y malhechora, dushita pavo mi amor, vida tavo taguille, no estaba en moncha, pa libra miseria. Capacidad, tu sinceridad nos le mata y va. Vamos futuro, danos orgullo. Nos estaba en un pavo, un pe, futurnos esperanza. Solo te salir.
Yes.
Check, check, check. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ranson! Woo!
We're sitting here with Schuurman. How are
Hey,
you
give
doing?
it up for our next guest, the Schuurman!
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Mooi dat je er bent.
Thank you.
Je bent er al de hele avond. Je bent
Ja.
onze trouwste gast.
Klopt.
We zijn blij dat je er bent.
Dankjewel.
Afgelopen zaterdag stond ik met jou. Dat heb je gesloopt. Het was afgelopen zaterdag, toch? Of is dat weer 2 weken geleden?
Skatecafé. Ja, klopt.
Tijd gaat snel.
Ja. Nee, ik heb gisteren niet. Nee, klopt.
Voor het eerst dat ik je hoorde draaien. Hoe zou je, voor de mensen die je niet kennen, je eigen sound
Hoe ik mijn sound zou omschrijven? Ja.
Actually, we were doing this whole interview in English, but I don't
Ja,
know.
ik dacht al.
Yeah. Sorry for people at home. No
Let's
worries.
continue in English. How would you describe your own sound?
How I describe my own sound? I think for the most people outside of Holland, they would think it's like almost a type of techno with a Caribbean tint to it. So yeah, that's exactly how I think. Yeah, it's weird. For me, it's bubbling. I don't know anything else, you know.
What is bubbling?
Bubbling is like a hard style of like house music with a Caribbean tint. So like rhythmic, electronic tint to it, and also like a lot of dancehall and hip hop in the sense of like sampling and all the old school sounds you can hear in the music. So yeah.
So what made you jump on that style? And when did you start doing it?
Yeah, when did you start to begin with?
I started making beats in like 2006 or 7, and I've been playing music in clubs from like 2009 up to now. The reason I made bubbling music is because I was always listening to bubbling music when going to school, listening to Chuckie, listening to like DJ Erche, Soundkiller, all like old street DJs who weren't familiar at the time. But yeah, it wasn't like a small genre. Like it was an underground genre in Holland also. So yeah, it was never played in like big clubs. So it was a street style of music for us, like to just enjoy ourselves at home, you know. And that's the reason.
Oh, sorry, I have so many questions. While he's answering, I'm like, I want to ask him this. First of all, I want to say, because, you know, whenever I get the chance, I want to do this. Like, you brought a whole new dimension to bubbling music. You took it all over the world. So I want to give you your flowers while we can. We have TV here, so thank you for that. It's
Thank
really
you, thank
interesting. It also inspired me, and I think I was the first one to text Gregor, like, yo, you played with Schuurman, how was it? And when he said me, like, yo, it was mind-blowing, I was happy, man. I was happy and proud.
Man.
Also, it's cool because we're from the same city, you know?
True.
So, yeah, he put the Hague city on the map. 070?
070.
No, really cool. Where do you see the future of bubbling?
I can actually see the future of bubbling going into like this mainstream echelon of music, where now you can only see like mainstream artists like big EDM clubs, big EDM festivals in America and the States. I can see bubbling fit into that, you know. I can see bubbling fit into the mainstream area of EDM. For real.
So if you would be able to work with any kind of artist that you can choose to make, let's say, a mainstream bubbling crossover kind of tune.
Yeah, I already have a track with that person, so yeah.
Who is?
A mainstream artist,
Yeah.
but in the EDM scene, or whatever.
It doesn't matter. Like,
Drake.
What would your Drake? Okay. Yeah. Drake on bubbling.
Hey man, everything is possible.
No. Of
I would like
course,
to hear
that's-
that, Drake
I hope
on
that
bubbling.
happens for you.
Everything is possible. I think he already did like a lot of Caribbean tracks already.
Yeah.
They were a slower tempo, but he also
This-
did house tracks. So
So this
hey,
is
man,
the next step.
This is the next step.
Are you ready to show us some of your tunes?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? Let's
For
go.
you guys always.
Let's
For
get
you
it.
guys always.
So give it up for Ranson. Thanks, guys. Amazing. And next on is the Schuurman.
Give it up for Schuurman. Dit was hem dan. ADE X Salto. Ik wil jullie hier bedanken en jullie thuis ook. Mijn naam is Bradley Ruiz. Dankjewel aan Gregor Salto en DJ Chuckie. We gaan nog weer verder luisteren.